Hi Arunas, it's really great to see you here. It's extremely great pleasure to actually have you as our first guest on ProAmNews interview series. I'm actually going to start with a few questions from right back. How did you start your dancing career? How did that happen? How old were you?
Well, first of all, hello Vitas. I'm really glad that you're doing this thing, ProAmNews, and I'm glad to be interviewed by you here. So I started dancing when I was 7, and it was a very common thing back in Lithuania then to go to the dancing club when you went to school. So a lot of people started school when they were 6 or 7, and in most secondary schools there were dancing clubs in those schools, and a lot of kids went there. In my school, more than half of all the classmates, both boys and girls, were in the dancing.
Oh, really?
So it was very, very popular. So at that time, so many kids started dancing, and it was good.
Did you decide that by yourself?
No, actually, it was my mom who took me to the dancing.
Okay.
She checked that there was a dancing club, and she loved ballroom dancing, so she wanted me to go there.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's very
Yes.
good. So you started dancing. Obviously, you know, when kids start dancing, they dance both Latin and ballroom. When was that moment when you decided that, you know, standard ballroom dancing is the way for you to go and to focus on?
I was 22, 23 when I stopped doing Latin and 10 dances competitions, and then concentrated on the standard, or ballroom as we often say now. And it came naturally. I think a lot of people kind of realize at a certain age that they are better in one or the other style, and they realize that to be ultimately successful you have to put more time into one discipline. It becomes very difficult to do both at the very highest levels. So that's where we got at that time, when we realized that in order to get better in one discipline we had to drop the other one. So
okay.
That's what happened.
Okay. Actually, I recently saw, I think it was Edita who posted a video on Facebook.
I saw that too.
Of, you know, old days when you were dancing Latin. It was kind of weird watching it. I
honestly, it was very good when I watched it.
Yeah, like I don't know, just like I couldn't really match you with Latin.
No,
it was,
no,
like,
actually
so
I could associate myself very easily with Latin. I guess we all, you know, better one or the other. It for whatever reason, you know, how we. Yeah, and of course it all depends on the circumstances. You know, you get into a certain environment that, you know, helps you to develop in one way or the other, and we ended up being more successful in ballroom. Although there were times, I think, in junior, maybe 1 or 2 years, when Latin was going better. And in general, Latin was good for us in junior, youth, and in amateur it was more ballroom, but in 10 dances we did pretty well. So it was actually difficult to drop Latin, because I like Latin a lot, and I do like watching Latin now, but just it happened that I became a ballroom specialist.
Okay, well, I'm sure it turned out quite well.
Don't complain.
So obviously, you know, you and Edita, you used to dance for a very long time together.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not sure how many years actually.
16 years.
16 years.
16
wow,
years.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
When you guys decided that it's time for you to go separate ways, was it a hard decision, or was it just something came naturally that you decided that it's enough?
I think decision came to me naturally. So when Edita was pregnant, I became to realize that it would be very difficult for me to continue in the same partnership. But at the moment when I told that to Edita, it wasn't something that she was prepared for. Okay. So I think, you know, in her case, well, the way she reacted, it showed that she was actually planning it differently, that she thought, you know, we would get back together. So it was difficult at first. With Edita, she was very upset and unhappy about, because what, you know, was my decision really to stop our partnership, but I didn't see any other way at that time. And but I'm glad it all turned out well for Edita as well as for myself. So
yeah, absolutely.
so it's yeah. But although that decision came natural, it wasn't easy. It was still because we danced together for 16 years, so you know it's never easy to make such big decisions.
Absolutely. You know, for such a long time to be together with a person, I can imagine that it takes a toll. Also, that leads me to another question. You started dancing with Katyusha.
Yes.
And after being dancing with a person for 16 years, you used to her personality, her dance style, and everything, and then you start dancing with another partner. So it must be kind of like that transitional period where it's a bit hard, right?
Of course, yeah, it wasn't all easy right away. And actually, it's funny. Our first tryout was horrible. It felt very bad. It's just that we saw video and then we thought it looked okay because I think we were matching well, like physically, looking at the height relationship and body type. So it looked okay, and then in video we thought we looked pretty good, but didn't feel right. And because she was dancing with a previous partner for 12 years, and I was with Edita for 16 years, so obviously we were very used to other partners, and it took time to kind of harmonize our dancing together. But it turned out okay.
It turned out really well, right?
It turned out very well.
That's very good.
Lucky, yes.
Okay, now that you've been with Katyusha, obviously you are, world champion. I think it's actually like 4 or 5 years you guys haven't actually lost a competition.
Yeah,
pretty much.
For the last 5 years or so, yeah.
You keep on winning everything, and which is obviously fantastic. It shows, that you work hard and you achieved, a great style and everything. But how do you guys keep yourself motivated? I mean, when you know that you're going to a competition and you know that, well, most probably you're going to win.
Well, you're always aware of the challenges ahead of you, and challenges from the other couples. You know that everyone is trying to improve, get better, and of course there are couples that want to get ahead of us. And so we're aware of that, and also there are challenges that comes, I could say, within yourself. You kind of challenge yourself. It's not easy to keep motivated and to continue competing. But I think what keeps us doing what we're doing is that we like dancing a lot, and at the same time, as well as having such a successful career, we feel that we have a lot of room to improve ourselves. We so many times when we analyze what we did, we're not completely satisfied. We want to improve things, to get better, and I think the dancing itself becomes like a challenge because you're looking for the better ways, and it keeps you going. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Which leads me to another very logical question, actually. Now you're world champions.
Yes.
You travel a lot. You obviously work a lot. How do you guys manage to, keep that balance between professional career and your personal life? Do you actually have time for personal lives, or is it sort of dancing isn't big than that?
I think our life is all about dancing in general, and if you take like a situation in our partnership, we're very good friends, and that helps. And Katyusha has her private life. She's got a long-time boyfriend. They've been together now, I think, for 10 years. Well, I've been dancing with Katyusha for 7 years now, so time flies. Yeah, it doesn't feel that long, but when you look back, it's been 7 years. And I keep searching for my perfect one. But it's not. I think dancing takes a lot of time, and it's difficult to combine everything. So at the moment I find it difficult to have family and commit to family. So I'm still single. I enjoy traveling and dancing, but settling down and having family is in my plans.
No, that's good. That's nice to hear.
In the future, yes. I hope it will go that way. Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's good. let's jump a little bit and actually start, you know, to talk a little bit about ProAm, because you know, ProAmNews, we try to show people how you know, ProAm is really great way for people to learn dancing and travel and enjoy themselves. Obviously, ProAm has been this really fast-growing industry.
Yes.
Not looking, you know, at the whole dance, but like in general, I think ProAm has been growing really steadily, and obviously it started in America. You know, it came from there, but now slowly I think that, you know, Europe and Asia are catching up.
Yes.
I know that you spend a lot of time actually everywhere.
Yeah, I do travel
all over the place.
all around the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
And both in America and in Europe and Asia. So maybe you could tell us, what is the main difference in ProAm dancing in, you know, America and the rest of the world?
I think the main difference is that ProAm dancing is still much bigger in the States than the rest of the world. And as you correctly mentioned, it's growing in Europe and Asia. But I think US is still bigger with the amount of the ProAm students there. So I think the difference is that here in Europe or in Asia you have more teachers and fewer students, and in US you have different situation where you have more students and fewer teachers for the amount of the students. So it is very common in the States to have one teacher with few students participating in the competitions, and it's less common here in Europe. You have more like one student, one teacher participating in the competition. So that would be, I think, would be the difference. In the level, I think it's all very different. You have different levels here, people that just start, people that are very advanced. Same in the States, same in Asia, had different levels. But the quantity is still great in the States.
Okay, alright. Do you yourself participate in ProAm?
I have participated in some events. It's not something that I do a lot because of our intense professional schedule, our competitions and shows, and also practicing and you know, training, because that you know, you have to.
It takes quite a lot of time.
You have to do that, otherwise you won't be able to compete at the very highest level. So we don't have much time to do to work with ProAms. We do that through our teaching, and we have participated in the events, performed with our students, but that wasn't like a lot that we did. It was like few occasions that we had. But I must say I enjoyed it, and I think it's very good that there is opportunity for people to learn that way. I think it's
fantastic.
in many ways more productive. People get faster, better, and I enjoy teaching ProAm students because I feel you know, the process is working well, and the whole system is, I think, very beneficial for both teachers and students.
Okay, so obviously, you know, you and Katusha are world champions. You guys must have a huge following, you know, especially from ProAm dancers.
Yes.
Which, like, region, let's say, you think is most involved and they want to get lessons from you, or they want to maybe offer you to dance together, or which region is more active in that regard?
I wouldn't be able to specify particular region, because through my career I got offers from the States, from Canada, from Asia, from Europe. So I think we're lucky to be in this position where demand is very high for our lessons, and people want to learn from us and they want us to share our knowledge with them. So I think we've been very lucky in that sense, and we have a lot of demand in all different places of the world, so which is great for us. So we just try to get involved as much as we can.
Okay, all right. You're Lithuanian.
Yes.
So the next question is once again, you know, kind of logical. What's the situation in Lithuania? I mean, I know that you know, Lithuanian Ballroom Dance Association has been around for a few years, and I know that you're one of the founders, let's say, of this association. What's the situation back in Lithuania, and you know, what's happening there? Is ProAm growing?
Oh yes, I think we've gone a long way way since we started the organization. Lithuanian Ballroom Dance Association started without any prime dances really. It was like it was just beginning then. So since then it has grown a lot. We have a lot of students and teachers participating in the prime events. We have quite a few events now in Lithuania. When we started the organization it was only one event. So I think Lithuanian Ballroom Dance Association is doing very well, and I'm involved as much as I can be. Obviously I travel a lot and I can't be in Lithuania all the time, but whenever I come here I try to attend all the events that are here, and if there is a demand to do a workshop, I'm always happy to do that. And I'm involved with a competition of organizing Vilnius Dance Festival, which has grown a lot as well, and especially with the ProAms. We have a lot of ProAms now coming from all over the world, and we have a lot of, compared to what we have a lot of local ProAm couples now. So it's been very good.
All right, that's fantastic. Let's talk business now.
Yes.
I mean, people are usually quite interested in that. They know you as a dancer, they know you as a performer, but let's talk a little bit of business.
Mm-hmm.
You have, as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, you have quite a few business ventures here, in Europe, in US, in Canada.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe you could tell us a little bit about them and what they are, and how do you even manage to get into that when you're so busy?
Well, it's not easy, and I think competitive dancing is still the biggest priority. But at the same time, I got involved into some business ventures, like opening the studios.
Okay.
And we have studios in Lithuania and Canada. I'm involved in the States with certain projects. So it's a very intense schedule for me in general. So it demands a lot of time, and time is so precious.
I can imagine,
as we all know. So, but I must say I've been very lucky to meet good people in my life that actually they're very easy to work with.
Okay.
So the work that we did wasn't easy, but the people that I had to work with were easy to deal with, and they were actually, I think, the key to success. And that's why a lot of things that we started doing, like studios, competitions, succeeded because of the people that I worked with, and I owe them a lot for what they did.
Yeah, I can understand you, because I know that you guys just a few months ago, I think you finished the Asian tour.
Yes.
Which obviously takes a lot of time. You have to
Yes.
travel there, and there's so many competitions in such a short time. So when you're there, somebody has to help you guys out in your business stuff. So that's great. That's great. You actually found such people.
You can't do everything on your own. It's, I think, all about the team.
Yeah, exactly. It's so true. It's so true.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know that you organize a competition here in Lithuania.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Vilnius Dance Festival. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about it, and
it's going to be 7th year now. What's the festival? 7th. Yeah, 7th year. We have juniors, juveniles, youth, amateurs, seniors. We have a medalist, or some countries called hobby class. It's people that start dancing later. And obviously we have ProAms, and we have ProAms competitions and shows. So it's wide range of groups in the festival, age-wise, category-wise, and so it's good that we all get together in the event here. And the event is it's obviously I love my event because I'm so involved that I saw it growing. So I can't find what to say other than good about what
maybe there isn't. Maybe there isn't. Let's be honest.
So I want everyone to come, and the more people come to the event, the happier I am. And I just say that we always have a great time, and that's most important.
Absolutely.
I think festival has become a true festival where we have a lot of fun, it's a lot of joy, and it's great to see people enjoying what they're doing.
That's of course that's amazing.
Yeah.
When is it? I think
it's June 1st. June 1st, Sunday, and it's following the famous Blackpool Dance Festival.
Okay.
We have quite a few people.
Is it for only one day or?
One day event, yes, one day event. We have quite a few people coming from Blackpool and coming from different parts of the world, and I mean, it's not easy for a lot of competitors that competed in Blackpool, so I'm very grateful that they come and support our event here in Vilnius. I appreciate that a lot. But at the same time, it's very convenient day for people that you know, they plan trip from further away. People from Americas, from Asia, from further away from Europe. They actually can combine some trips. I know some people go to Blackpool, then come to Lithuania, then goes to some other events. I know there are some other events in Russia happening. So it's actually convenient from that point of view.
Oh, that's
so
right.
it's you know, it's difficult to find a perfect day, but I think we've been doing this for the last few years. We had I think very first year we had it in April. So now we moved to June, 1st of June, or like usually first weekend of June. So it's working well for us, and I hope that people find it convenient for them too.
All right. Okay. So you mentioned that this is going to be the 7th time.
Yes.
Right. So that's basically it's when you started dancing.
Yes.
With Katyusha, isn't
Yeah.
it?
It's the same.
You said you were dancing for
the
7
first
years.
time. Yeah. It's you know, I started first competition with the people here that helped me 7 years ago. It was first year of our partnership. Yes, that's true.
Okay. All right.
So
okay. So that's quite a lot of things
yes.
happening in 1 year.
Yeah.
You know, it must be extra hard.
I know. So I was on that wave probably when I wanted to be very active
very
and
motivated. I know,
very motivated, and I didn't mind, you know, starting new things and
okay. So
and working hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 7 years, I mean, as an organizer,
yes.
obviously you have your team and everything, but what have you learned from being an organizer? I mean, I think it's a bit different from when you're just a dancer and then you start sort of touching that other side, you know, like organizing events and what it takes and how hard it is and everything. What did you learn?
You learn all the time, and you know, it's like every year you learn something new, and you know, with every year you get more experience, and you kind of, you know, you get to realize the importance of every little detail.
Okay.
So and nothing is unimportant really.
Yeah.
So it may seem like a little thing, but you know, it's like if there are a lot of little things going wrong, the whole event is going wrong. And that's what you learn, you know, as you go along. And I think what you realize that attention to detail is very important.
Yeah, no, I can imagine that. I mean,
so that's the thing that I learned.
One of the things which strikes me is, you know, I know my fair share of dancers, and not to sound too, you know, negative or something, but I know that sometimes they're not very organized. You know, they are artists and they perform.
Well, I mean,
you seem to be the opposite of that. You're actually very you know, organized, and the way you do things and how many things you actually started. So that's great.
I think I wouldn't, you know, put like people into categories like artists or managers, and that they have no sense of art, and people that have great creative imaginations, and like you call them creative forces, can be very organized and achieve a lot of things. So I think it's something that, you know, one can possess, where they manage their time well and can get a lot of things done. And I try to do that, and I realized that it's never enough time in a way.
Yeah.
It's never enough time. So you try to use it as well as you can, and being organized helps, of course. And I think also, you know, you kind of, as you grow older, you realize how bad it is to waste the time.
Yeah.
So, and I meet a lot of people that are very successful in our business, dancers.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can look at some of the greatest champions that won so many times, and they're very, very organized. And actually I remember some of the lessons when I was just a young kid, and some of the teachers told me that if you want to be successful, you have to learn to be organized.
That's very true.
And
very true.
And I think that helped a lot in my dancing career, and that helps in all other things that I do in life. So I suggest everyone that you know, try to be as organized as you can. Wasting time is no good, and time is precious. So
well, there you go.
Everyone, I think everyone realizes that, but you know, learning how to use it and being organized is something you have to do.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay, so right now, Vilnius Dance Festival is sort of, you know, you have a little bit of everything. You know, you have the competitions for kids, you have amateurs, you have pro-ams, you have, you know, pro-am shows. What's the future of the event? Do you have a vision? Do you want to choose just one way to go, or do you actually want to continue and grow in every single category? What do you plan?
Well, so far it seems that the event is growing, and new categories are being added. Like we didn't have kids before.
Okay.
Only last year we started having juniors. Before that we only had youth and amateurs. So we basically added new groups to the event. So if it continues developing that way, and that's the goal in a way, that we want it to grow. So we accept that in that case, you know, we'll have to add new categories, and the event may grow to be bigger than one-day event.
Okay.
And now it's very intense. We start early in the morning and still late at night, and without any breaks really. Like it just short a break for the lunch or dinner. So we'll see what happens in the future. I would like it to grow and to become bigger. But you know, whatever happens, happens. I'm actually happy with the product the way it is now as well. But it seems like it's growing. So.
Well, it's a process.
It's a process, yeah.
In 7 years, you probably grew.
Yeah.
And I think you know, it's obviously going to be a great event. You have superb judges, as far as I know.
Well, I think that for the competition, it's very important. You know, dancers want to dance in good conditions. If you take the floor, the space, schedule, but the judging panel, I think, is very essential for the competition. You know, if you don't have highly qualified judges, I think you can't expect to have high rank couples. I think in any level, I think everyone expects to be judged by the experts.
No,
so that's what we try to provide. We
Yeah.
try to get the best experts that we can get to judge our festival.
That's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. All right. So now that you're, you know, world champion, an organizer, a businessman, do you and Katusha, you know, have you decided what you're gonna do once you decide to hang up your dance shoes, or do you guys just sort of gonna go by the flow and see what's happening?
I don't see our dancing changing, life changing radically after we could stop competing, because I think we're going to be involved with the dancing anyway. So the only the aspect that is very important and big for us now is going to be gone, the competing side of it. But I'm sure we're going to stay involved with the running of the studios, the organizing of the competitions, teaching, lecturing, and still love traveling. So I don't expect to have like a tremendous change where I would feel, okay, the life is completely different now. It will be completely different if you take the competitive side of it. So suddenly you wouldn't have to prove everyone in the competition that you are the best dancer of that moment. But in many other aspects that we're surrounded now, it's still going to be pretty similar. Yeah. So I don't expect to have a shock when I retire, but we shall see. I don't know.
We shall see. I mean, you know, maybe you're just going to have a little bit more time to focus on different things which you'll have to do. So that could be. A lot of people say that they thought they would have more time than when they retire, but actually, you know, because other things take over, and they say that they don't feel like there's so much time and there's nothing to do with the time. Yeah.
No matter, I think, where you are, you always find that you can be busy with something, and
Yeah,
I don't feel like it's difficult to use time.
Yeah, all right. So just for the last question, I'm actually going to drop a bomb here.
Okay.
Do you see that moment when you guys are going to retire?
We haven't
Is it
planned,
sort of coming,
no,
or
we,
do you
we
feel...
haven't planned the exact moment.
You haven't?
We haven't, no. I think it will come naturally when suddenly we feel, one of us feels, and then we can discuss that we should stop, and then we would stop.
Mm-hmm.
But at the moment we haven't haven't decided, we haven't made any plan like on the that we would retire on a particular occasion, some competition or something. So there's none of that yet.
Well, I'm very happy about that, because I hope you guys continue for many years.
I doubt that. To be honest, I think it could happen any moment. Really. Okay. I think we're in that stage where if we decide to stop, it could be tomorrow, and we could stop. Because in a way we have achieved everything we wanted to achieve. So as soon as we feel we can't motivate ourselves anymore, I think we can't be inspired, and it becomes very difficult to be motivated and inspired, I think we would stop. So, but that moment haven't come yet. So,
okay. Well, that's great. I'm happy about it. I'm sure our viewers are going to be happy about that as well. So, that's that. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
Great to talk to you.
And
so, there it was. We just had our first ever interview series with Arunas Bizokas. We're extremely happy that we actually started doing these series, and we hope that you're going to come to our website www.ProAmNews.com, as well as follow us on our social media channels such as twitter.com/newsproam and facebook.com/ProAmNews. There you can check it out, see our videos, see our photos, come to our website to check out all the relevant information about Pro-Am competitions, and we will certainly start doing this more often, and next time we'll have even more and better interviews with other dance stars. Thanks, guys.